Very pleased and proud to be joined at this time by former St. John Sea Dog forward StephenAnderson. Andy, welcome back. It's got to feel pretty strange, although pretty normal, I suppose, to be back in St. John this time of year.
Yeah, it's like you said, you're kind of used to it. It's kind of the other side of the spectrum where you're not coming back for a training camp. But I mean, like you said, to get back here whenever I can, it's just great. I love this city. I've had great experiences here, and it's whenever I can come back, it's awesome too.
Now, of course, you're fresh out of the queue because you finished off your last season last year with the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles, but has it sunk in that you're not going to be in the queue this year?
I think it's hitting now that I'm getting ready to start my next journey in the hockey and the university route. Maybe I think a little part of me kind of wishes I'd go back for another rip at it, but I think a big part of me, I'm just kind of excited to start a new journey and start a new leap to my next part in my career.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that in a second, but let's look back for a minute. Your time with the St. John Sea Dogs, 3 pretty good seasons in St. John. Tell me about your best memories, your favorite times in a Sea Dog uniform.
I think it was just being out there, just like you said, 3 different years. Every year I think had a little bit of a different taste to it. The first year I came, we were kind of the top of the spectrum and playing with guys like, Hubertos and Beaulieu's and Phillips and whatnot, just kind of understanding what it takes to be a championship team and what you have to do, and then kind of coming in the next year and getting the opposite end of the spectrum. But I mean, it was great. Every year I played here, I had a great experience. It was one of the best times of my life, and I got nothing but good things to say.
So if you could go back and talk to your 16-year-old self, knowing that, knowing what you know now, what would you say? What piece of advice would you give yourself now, 4 years later?
I think everyone says it, but it's true. Just kind of enjoy every moment of it, because it really does fly by. It's kind of cliche and everyone says it, but it's very true. I look now, I'm 20 years old and it's completely done. It just feels like yesterday I was in here in my first Sea Dogs training camp. So I mean, I think like you said, if I could talk to a younger version of myself, I'd just say enjoy every moment of it and live it up.
Now, how much do you think you're going to be keeping track of your old mates, not only here but elsewhere, throughout the next year or two?
Well, even last year, I mean, I started up in northern Quebec and went down in Cape Breton, but the hockey world's so small, you kind of keep track of everyone. You always, with social media and whatnot nowadays, it's pretty hard not to keep track of everyone. So I like to keep a hold on everything, and even just send them a text and see how they're doing every now. It's great to keep up with the guys that you met over your years.
And of course, you got a chance to see a lot of them this weekend here as well, guys that you played with and guys that maybe you came in on the heels of as well. What's it like catching up and perhaps even introducing yourself to some of these guys?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there's I'd say 10 guys in here that I actually never even played with and got to meet them today. But it's awesome to come back and meet guys like Durapo and Gagne that I didn't probably see for 2 years, and even guys like Cameron where I see every now and then. But it's just kind of nice to get back into the hockey scene of things and catch up. It's awesome to see everyone again for sure.
Now, your time in the queue being up, you're moving on, as you mentioned, to the university ranks. Tell us what's next for StephenAnderson.
Yeah, I'm going to University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. We're going to be taking kinesiology and playing for the hockey team over there. Very excited to join their program. They have a pretty historic and well-rounded program over there, so I'm very excited for the future for sure.
Any idea what kind of role you might play with the team this year? Gardner, of course, runs a tight ship and likes to have his players, be in a pretty good situation. So, what kind of role do you see yourself in this year?
Yeah, it's kind of just like going back into the queue again. You can't really go in and expect to have a huge role, but I expect to have a very significant role and help that team to be successful as it can be. But at the same time, I don't expect to be in there and be the top dog. I got to work my way up the food chain, just like my experiences in the queue. But I'm very excited to go there for sure. Nothing but good things ahead.
And just to tie a bow around this, Stephen, your time in St. John, something you'll always relish?
For sure, yeah. Like I said earlier, every time I come back here, I have very special moments here. I've started here, and every time I came back, even this year when I was playing for Val-d'Or and St. John, all the guys and staff and whatnot that I had met, and just they're going to be friends forever. So it's nothing but great experiences when I come back.
Andy, congratulations. We're proud of you. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tim.